You don't think Tyson is a serious opponent for him?
Come on. 61 years. I saw him the other day. I love Tyson. I told him
he can punch.
Of course. He's got a puncher's chance the first 3 rounds. I'm a little scared of Tyson getting hurt after the 3rd round.
Right.
Jake Paul's a big boy. He's 26 years old. Tyson's 61. I'm happy for Tyson that he's making money and that Tyson still loves it and he's getting in there, he's in shape.
Right.
But
Mike Tyson received a severe warning from boxing professionals prior to his fight with Jake Paul. In fact, Tyson claims that he is exhausted from training for the bout. It's acknowledged by Paul Tyson that something is off. Tyson continued, "It's hard to walk right now, but after being out of action for weeks due to an ulcer flare-up, I'm going to be perfect in 2 months." Tyson claimed to work out 3 to 4.
Can't win. If he wins,
he wins. Oh, you beat up an old man.
no, he wins. There's a huge bad taste in the world of boxing. It's a disappointment to an organization that has loved Mike Tyson. It is like
4 times a day. On Friday, Tyson took the stage at the Cage Wars mixed martial arts promotion to discuss his upcoming battle with Paul on November 15th. He responded to inquiries about his recovery and gave specifics about his plans. 3 hours ahead of schedule. On Friday, the MMA competition will begin, according to a frequent Cage Wars announcer. Tyson replied, "We're trying to get you out of here a little early tonight so that you can get a good night's sleep and make sure you're up early tomorrow morning to get to start training for Jake Paul. Only an hour's drive." On from the city, where Tyson became the youngest heavyweight boxing champion in history, SKC New York hosted the mixed martial arts event. "No, Jake can go to hell. I'm going to have a blast tonight with all of my childhood friends." Paul Tyson recently declared that he has completed 6 sparring rounds. He will be
and I think on that small group of people that are following, yes. But in the world of boxing and that whole atmosphere of boxing is going to feel like somebody died. And it may not happen. Mike may knock him out. May be able to get to him because Mike is that good. But it's also that you also know there is a chance. And if you know that there's a chance, then Mike isn't
sparring for 10 rounds instead of the 8 2-minute rounds he will face in the heavyweight bout as he intensifies his training for the upcoming fight. As a way to help himself heal, Tyson said, "The fight is won in the gym." In addition, he declared, "Listen, I'll do anything that will help me," considering that Mike Tyson claims he is not concerned about money, what drives him to take on Jake, who is 27 years old. Paul Tyson said, bringing up his cannabis company Tyson 2.0. His explanations for the upcoming battle with Paul had been a little vague. "Since I'm a man, I want to see the true me and my true nature by putting myself out there and taking occasional risks. It would be pointless for me to wait for a check from cannabis every day." This was a long distance from his 180-mile Brooklyn routes, yet only 50 miles from where he was sitting at the time, the location where he trained under the late KZ D'Amato and went on to win the heavyweight world title. Even though Cage Wars was primarily about other topics, the 2 regular commentators would constantly bring up Tyson and his...
You don't think Tyson is a serious opponent for him?
come on. 61 years. I saw him the other day. I love Tyson. I told him
he can punch.
Of course. He's got a puncher's chance the first 3 rounds. I'm a little scared of Tyson getting hurt after the 3rd round.
Right.
Jake Paul's a big boy. He's 26 years old. Tyson's 61. I'm happy for Tyson that he's making money and that Tyson still loves it and he's getting in there, he's in shape.
Right.
His next fight with Paul, which Netflix would watch live. Tyson stated, "I want to perform in front of the world. To me, that's all I ever known how to do since I was 14. According to reports, Paul stated that he will make $40 million from the fight, although Tyson tries to downplay the significance of the money. Tyson said, "This is just what I want to do. This fight is not going to change my life financially enough." As he steps up his preparation for the fight, Tyson disclosed that he had done 6 rounds of sparring with just 2 months to go, in preparation for an 8-round bout that will last 2 minutes apiece. He intends to increase the number of rounds in his sparring sessions to 10. The fact that UFC legend will be watching the bout on Netflix has added to the tension surrounding it. In addition, Tyson said that his blood count is virtually restored and that he no longer gets ulcers. Ken Shamrock voicing his reservations in an interview with DJ, a Vlad who is Ukrainian-American even with Tyson's impressive resume. Shamrock expressed doubts about his ability to compete at the greatest level. He also issued a warning, saying that Paul's fans might suffer a severe hit if he loses. Shamrock claimed that if Jake Paul won, it would be devastating for the boxing community and a group of people who held a tremendous degree of respect for Mike Tyson. He reiterated that Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is comparable to taking on a physically challenged opponent, and that the outcome is akin to experiencing a sense of loss almost identical to someone passing away. If Jake Paul prevails, people would think, oh, you beat up an old man, therefore he cannot win. This will upset the organization that has loved Mike Tyson and leave a bad taste in the boxing community. It's going to resemble a funeral. The UFC Hall of Famer went on to suggest that given Mike's skill set, a lot of boxing fans undoubtedly believe he would prevail. But he also noted that Mike might give the impression that Jake Paul has easily defeated a seriously disabled person if he shows up to the ring without the anticipated presence and skill. He likened it to beating up someone in a wheelchair. For the handful of individuals who follow, I doubt it will occur, but among the boxing community, it will seem as though someone has passed away. It's possible that Mike knocked Paul out, but it's also possible that you are aware of the possibility, and if you are aware of the possibility, Mike isn't Mike. DJ Vlad made a comparison between this situation and Trevor Bark's victory against the late great Muhammad Ali during the latter's final professional fight in 1981. The boxing fraternity criticized Bark for feeding the 39-year-old Ali, who was clearly past his prime after that fight. The interviewer then made a suggestion that Paul may encounter a similar degree of disdain from the boxing community in the event that he defeated Tyson. In addition, Tyson may face significant health risks as a result of the battle. There are other people that are worried about Mike Tyson's health besides Shamrock and Vlad before to his fight with Jake Paul. Deontay Wilder, the former heavyweight champion, concurs that this bout should never have been approved. The Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation was criticized by Deontay Wilder for permitting Mike Tyson and Jake Paul to compete in a professional match. There are worries that Tyson's risk of damage is still quite serious despite the new rules, given the 8 2-minute rounds of action. Since Mike Tyson hasn't participated in competition in 20 years, I think it's awful that the commission granted him a license. He shouldn't have been granted a license based only on his personality because, God forbid, that's how people get hurt. In the end, nobody gives a damn about Mike, according to Wilder, who stated in a media interview that although some individuals are against the event, it seems like the main players are all for it, and that's all that matters to the organizers. If Tyson is struck in the wrong spot, he can possibly go into a coma. Jim Lampley, a well-known boxing commentator, has called the much-anticipated match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul phony. Lampley's lack of confidence is indicative of many critics who question the legitimacy of the battle on the awful podcast that promotes it. My opinion is for me, and what really matters is what does Mike want to do. Lampley said in response to queries that are frequently felt around the boxing community regarding the event's credibility. The crowd adores him and is eager to see him again. Jake Paul is an internet product. Tyson and Paul have pledged to deliver knockouts when they enter the ring at a T stadium, despite the doubters. I believe that my lack of usage of social media demonstrates how archaic I am. I'm not interested in this event, and I don't think anything notable will happen. On the other hand, 3 decades Tyson's junior, Jake Paul, has fought 10 times professionally and emerged victorious in all of them. The one fight he lost was in 2022 against Tommy Fury. Paul defeated veteran UFC fighter Mike Perry in the 6th round of his most recent match. This made it easier for him to face Tyson Lampley later on. In 2020, Tyson faced Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition match, which was his most recent performance in the ring. After 8 rounds, the bout resulted in a draw under guidelines akin to those. This won't be your typical boxing bout between 2 sportsmen who are at the peak of their physical abilities and have dedicated their entire lives to perfecting their craft. Instead, we have a clash of titans between the legendary heavyweight champion who has